Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Spiritual Mysteries of Life. This morning, I'd like to take a moment and have you like and share the show, if you would, for us. Facebook likes us to do that, or Be Live TV likes us to do that. And I'd also like to thank Neshi for hosting the show this morning. And also to remind you this evening of the school mysteries with Carl and Orthra Franklin at 8 p.m. And also this afternoon at 3 Eastern time, that is 4 o'clock, I'm sorry, Eastern time, is for Maureen Mann. And she's going to be doing angel therapy at 4 p.m. So those are their little bullets that we want you to remember. But then there's the big one. The big event here is that this is my last daytime show, and we're going to be moving the show to the first Thursday at 8 p.m. on April the 4th. So I'll be on in the evening instead of during the day. So just keep that in mind. And welcome to the show or the event. This morning I'm going to be channeling, and so it's going to take me a few seconds to get in and let them in. And but just be patient. I haven't fallen off, and you'll still see me, and you'll hear. Probably my voice will change a little bit, but not too much. I do know that I think they changed the voice, but it's not a real drastic change. So anyway, so you'll know, and it's the eternal flame who will be coming through. So with that, let's see what we can have for today. And blessings be to all of you who have come and joined us this morning. And thank you so much. Good morning. This is the eternal flame. And I come to you this morning with much gratitude and a humbleness to be able to be here and to share with you knowledge that will help you raise your consciousness. And today we're going to discuss the chalice of your heart. Think about that for a moment, if you would. The cup that fills your heart. And remember that as we're going through, the heart and the cup are together. We have to take, or you have to take, and eliminate all the negative elements that are there, your ego, all the things that, in order for you to receive the living water into the cup, and the cup grows with you. It never overflows and falls away. Your cup grows with you as you grow in your consciousness and as you are progressing with your spiritual life. And know that the truth and love and many blessings are yours through the process and knowing of the I am. We are here to give you the knowledge that will help you to intercede with yourself, to bring yourself to a new consciousness, to an awakening that will raise you to the God that is within you. You are the God. You are with Him. And these are things that we are teaching to help you raise that level, to know that inner peace, to go with joy in your heart, and know that whatever you need, you can manifest it within yours. It's there. It's yours. You don't have to search for it. It's there. And so with that processing of knowing that who you are, being who you are, these are just absolute truths. So be with everything and live your life to the fullest, to give. We are servants of God, here to help you, just like you are servants of God, working in this realm, in this fifth dimension, working to help raise the third dimension consciousness and pull those folks into the fourth and fifth to get them. It is still our responsibility in the spirit realm, but you as earthlings have to know that you are there. It is your responsibility to help mankind. It isn't just about you. It's your responsibility to to reach to all humans. It is not. It's just the way it is, and it's hard for a lot of folks to say, "Well, I have to take care of myself." Well, you'll be taken care of. Your processing of when you decide, when you make the conscious decision to say, "I am going to be the I am, and I'm going to do God's work in my everyday life, my everyday being." And know that your kingdom, you are in your kingdom. And when we see that, and when you pay recognition to any of us that are in the angelic realm, that raises us. That gives us an awareness. It brings our vibrations up. So whenever you're reaching and praying and, and sending the energy and the vibrations, know that you're reaching throughout all of everyone. And when you when you hear things that are of the negative, you need to sit and immediately, and I know this is hard for some of you folks, but you need to sit and think immediately of when you hear that negative connotation, spin it with the love vibration, the compassion. Love and compassion is what's coming. It's not, that's what the world is going to be. And in order for you to survive in the fifth and then even the sixth dimensions that are coming, you have to be able to live with that type of consciousness and not allow any negativism in. And so the only way that's going to happen is if we take each one of us and look, or each one of you, and look at yourself and say, what can I do to make my day better or somebody else's day better? When you think of yourself, think, how can I make this better for someone else? How can I be kinder to someone else? Even when you're in the grocery line and you're waiting, if you exchange a smile to someone, or if somebody cuts you off in traffic, you take and you say a little prayer for that person. Don't get mad and say, oh, and take on that negative vibration, because that's what holds us here. That's what holds all of the folks in that element of negativity. And instead, if we can start to take all of the energy that is given to us and place it into the proper place, know that when we come in, as the spirit realm works with you and you know that you're God's self, that brings you peace and an understanding that is far greater than what you will ever receive in the aspect of listening to the negative concepts that are out there. We need to flood that with love, compassion, joy, light, harmony, everything that you can, all the words that are positive, affirmations, and constantly working. And when you look in the mirror in the morning and you see the reflection, know and say to yourself, good morning, God. I'm so happy to see you today. And know that He is in you, working you, wanting you, and loving you for everything that you do. He is not judgmental. He isn't going to criticize you. He does. You get enough of that in your everyday life. Especially if you're involved in a relationship where there's a narcissistic individual, you will uh, suffer the consequences of that. So you grab a hold of your God consciousness and you say, take me and take this away from me, and it'll be gone. Believe you me, when you are in a situation, whether if it's negative and it's not right, you need to ask to have it removed, and it will be removed. You may not like what you're going through. See, that's the thing, is that when things happen and people move, or they'll say, oh, I have to move. Well, of course you do. You have to get out. You have to make a change. And change, nobody likes change. That's a given fact. But we on this side of the veil, we are ready for the change. We're anticipating the change. We want the change. And we're working, and everything is being done to make sure that everything is followed through. And when we have it's like, if you can think of this, uh, when you send out a thought, your thoughts are everything. And when you send that thought out and say, God, I need you, that is like it goes right straight up or wherever that vibration is going. And then it hits, and immediately, the vibration that you need comes back to you. It doesn't, there's no gap in there. It comes. And as you know, that when things are necessary, they come. And sometimes it's a sadness. And sometimes you don't understand that. And you'll say, well, why am I feeling so poorly? Well, it's because the change is coming. Before you can feel the goodness, you have to leave the sadness, if that makes sense, I hope to you. In essence, that no matter what happens, if it's a negative element or a negative vibration, you want it to leave. You want it to go. So you ask and have it, and just insist on it. And then you say to yourself, all right, and then what if something else happens that isn't positive? And you say, well, I thought this was supposed to be. Wait. You have to wait. And you have to you have to go within yourself and listen to the silence. So that when things happen, you're hearing, and you have to discern. Sometimes you have to discern what's going on around you. And so please don't just think, well, if I go haphazardly into something. No. You have to be discernment in everything that you do. Just like when you're listening to me, discern it. If it doesn't fit you, doesn't fit. It doesn't mean that you have to absorb it. It's for those folks. If you need to be where you need to be. And when that processing is moving toward you and letting you know you are in sync with yourself, your highest self, your consciousness is where you're needing to go. You don't have to go outside. You don't have to. It's just knowing, an inner knowing of love that is in your heart and in your soul, in your mind. All these things are necessary things for you to grow spiritually. It's one thing that when you're in this physical realm, to be able to pull together all of that which you are working for and working with. And you say, okay, now I need to do this, I need to do that. All right, well, fine, then, and put them in order if you have to. If you're a numbers person and you have to do things in the chronological order of 1, 2, 3, 4, then that's the way you do it. If you're an abstract person And you say, well, I can do, I'm a multitask person. I have to have everything just so. And I don't touch anything of mine because I know exactly where it's at. And that's fine. Don't question all that. Just know that when you're working and you're trying to achieve your own spiritual, it's your journey. You're the boss. If you're sick, you fix it. If you don't have to run to the doctor to do that. You can talk to your own body. You can talk to the cells and tell them, I've done it. You know that there's things out there that you can research. You have you have the utmost in communications today. You wouldn't 50, 70 years ago, people were not channeling. We are today. There's many, many people who are out there channeling. And whether or not it fits you, sometimes you have to listen and you'll say, no, that person, that's not the right channel for me. You have to discern them because each vibration is sending what your needs are and for that time frame. Now, you could be listening here today and saying, gee whiz, that doesn't relate to me at all. That's fine. You may come back to this show and listen to it again at a later date and say, oh my goodness, that hit me. You know, it's where you're at when you seek to find the place and the avenues in which you want to walk. You're going to be placed there. Your internet, listen to me, your inner spirit is there to help and walk you through your God, the God that is in you, the I am, because he tells us that. So, and we are so blessed to be able to interact and be able to give you the information that is necessary for you to reach in within yourself, because nobody can do it for you. It's a process. You have to decide, yes, I want to be higher in myself. I want to know my higher self. I want to be with God. I want God. I want the God in me. So when that happens, it takes different avenues. It takes different people. It takes different energies. And those are things that you just have to work with that. And don't give up. It takes time. It takes a lot of time. And that if you take meditation, sometimes people say, well, gee whiz, we don't have enough time. You know, I don't have enough time in a day. It takes just a few minutes. All you do is shut down that monkey mind and put yourself in place and say, okay, go to the bathroom, go wherever you have to go. If you have to go outside and say, I need just to get a breath of fresh air. And just find your spot. And within seconds, you can be in connection with the vibration because you've already sent the thought process out. It's already gone up. Now it's coming back, and you have to be ready to hear it. You got to be able to feel it. So with that, we're hoping and praying that everything that you do, that you put together, and put it together so that it works for you. And we are having some really wonderful things that are getting ready to happen in this universe. And so we are ultra happy. We are just experiencing and knowing that people are changing and realizing that there is something more than the material world. They want and are striving so hard to reach that spiritual level. And so they're seeking out individuals and listening to anything that has a spiritual connotation to it. So it's all right. If you'll find the avenue that you need, if it hits you, you go to it. If it doesn't, it's okay. Because life is what you make it. And if you're in the process of raising your consciousness, then you're in the right place. at the right time. And we are sending you as much love and light as we can, and knowing that we are all the angelic kingdom, the godness that we as ministers, the angelic realm, our kingdom is like being ministers to the earth itself. Whatever we do, we bring it in. There are people all over this world experiencing just exactly, people saying in different languages things that I'm saying here. Now, just know that it's not just in this little nucleus here, in this vehicle. We are all over. We're multifaceted. There are just thousands, millions and millions of vibrations working this world and getting things ready. You know that the shift that's come in, you feel it, you breathe it, you eat it, you everything. And things change, your bodies change, everything is changing. And when you decide what you want it to be, it will be. And we're going to leave that with you today, and know that we will be here again, because this is going to be part of this vehicle's menu. This is her event. And we are asking that if you have any questions, you may send them through, and we will take time today to answer any of those questions. And to you, beloveds, we love you, and God be with you. Okay. All right. Now, do we have any questions? I won't be able to make it. We'll review the replay. Would you like to know if my daughter will get custody of my grandchildren? Let me just say this, that there's going to be, it won't happen right away. That's all they're allowing me to say at this time on that issue. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, and this is from Jewel Smith. I am wondering if I'm on my right path. All right, Jewel. Let me say this to you, Jewel, that whatever path you are on, if you're in question of it, that would say to me that you might want to make a change. Whenever you are questioning the road or the path that you're on, then somewhere along your vibrations are telling you that maybe it's time to make a change. Maybe it's not a big change, but something needs to change. So I would say to either meditate, watch, listen, and be within yourself. In order for you to hear, you have to go into yourself. and listen, and really listen hard, because somebody, your innate person inside of you is working hard to give you some direction. So if you're feeling that your path is not 100%, that means that there will be a change coming, and they want you to be ready for that change, or you yourself will make the change. Does that make sense to her? I don't know. Does she want to come back with an answer? Okay. Okay. Do I have any important messages on this? All right, Susan. Do you have any important messages I'm missing? I'll tell you what I see. I see a flag, and it's laid out like almost a rectangle. And it has no color. So that says to me there's something that you have to do in order for your message to come through. There is something out there, but there's something that you have to do first before it's going to materialize in front of you. So I would suggest that they're showing me writing. So maybe you have to sit down and just write something. Maybe if that's your job or whatever, there's something there that you have to write something out and detail it, and then you will know the answer. Does that make sense to her? I don't know. Okay. All right. Please send love and light to my friend Kathy Crowley, who has recently lost her daughter, and I know it will help her. Thank you. I certainly will, and I want to write Kathy's name down. And I will say this. I just want to take a second, and I want to go into that vibration because I can feel the daughter. Everything is fine. She has gone into the light. She has not stayed back. She has gone right immediately into the light. And so would you give Kathy that information? I believe she will need that, and it will give her peace. Okay? All right. Thank you. No other questions?
No, there's no other questions right now, but I would like to ask a question. This is Neshi.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to ask a question about higher vibrations. When we're doing our healing work on ourselves and we're healing those emotional or mental traumas, how does that affect all of our vibration in all of our bodies? I think people like to know about how well are they doing their work?
As far as their spirituality or their physical?
Well, actually, all of their bodies, but how do we know when we're actually raising our vibration? How do we know that?
Well, I think that the processing that we go through and how you're living your life, if you're feeling happy, love, compassion, all the things that are necessary, the harmony, the peace, because when you are in the I am spirit of peace, you have grace. And why do you have grace? Because you're the servant of one God. When you call their out in your spirit, they're there in an instant. There's loving blessings and the healing of the faith and the power of the Almighty itself, the fullness of the love of God. So you're looking into your consciousness of your minds and of your bodies. So what happens is that the peace that comes into you, you're striving your consciousness, you're releasing your minds and your weary bodies. So those things that, and then the peace of God that goes with all of that raises your vibration. There's an understanding of when you know that outer mind of ours, there's a presence of the Almighty inside of us. And that we are the servants of God, and it is our greater opportunity and the joy of the universe. It's part of the scheme of things. And so when we as sons and daughters of God, it's our thought processing. And you just kind of know. It's an inner knowing. You're feeling certain. Sometimes you'll go through a painful experience and you'll think, why is this happening? Well, it just does. It has to happen. But knowing that if your consciousness and things, when you're living in a happy state, in a fun state, and things are fun in life, that's when you know you're in the right place. Okay? All right. Okay, Jules, I am on the right path. I thought I was, but not feeling so led right now, and I am stuck at places.
Yeah, Connie, you answered her question earlier, or actually your spiritual team did, but I think she wants to have a little clarification, or because she was feeling stuck, and so that's the piece I think she's trying to address.
Okay, I thought I was, but I'm feeling so led right now. Stuck. So she's stuck. Is that what she's saying? All right, let me see what I can. I get the feel. I'm getting that she's stuck because she chooses to be stuck. She's got something there that's blocking her ability to get herself out of there. Now, I don't know what I wish I could read for her on a personal, but anyway, we'll just do we'll work with what we've got here. Is that in the process, when someone is at a point where they can't get out, or they feel there's no hope, or something's not right, you can make that change. You can get unstuck. It's just going to take a little processing, changing of the thought process, getting in tune with yourself, listening, going within and doing some meditation. Maybe you're it just feels like I want to, well, what are they showing me here? I see a circle. Oh, you know, I'm hearing, maybe she can relate to this song. The circle will be unbroken. There's a song that goes, the circle will be the circle of that's unbroken. But for some reason, she is kind of stuck in that circle, and it needs to be broken. It needs to be taken, and she needs to go, whatever it is that she's dealing with.
So, Connie, are you saying that Jewel is it's possibly a mental process that she's in? That it's
I
that.
think I think she's created something mentally in her mind, or someone has planted a seed in her mind that makes her feel that she's stuck and she can't do anything about it. She can. She can change that. She has the power to change that. But maybe she doesn't know how to do that.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah. So maybe if we can ask then, how do we humans, us two-leggeds, how do we break those mental loops of maybe that holds us back, that we've created ourselves, really,
Uh-huh.
or that we've learned through belief systems when we were children, and we have this mental loop, the maybe the inner critic or something that we keep going over and over and over, and it becomes a block. How do we as humans change that?
Well, how do you think you change your everyday thought process?
That's what I'm asking.
Yes. How do you think you do that?
Yeah. Well, change your mind, change your thought, but
That's exactly right. Because you have free will. Free will plays in here. And if you have to decide whether or not you want to do what you're doing. It's just like when I made the decision to channel. I had to decide to move out of the way, to step out. And I do that. So anytime when you say you want something, let's if she's stuck, um, I think she just in the process, we all need to do this. And that is when we are contemplating something and let's say, okay, how do I know? Do I need to know how it's going to turn out? No, you don't need to know because everything is in divine order.
mm-hmm.
Everything, and that's the hard part that people have a hard time grasping, that everything is in divine order. It could be negative in your mind, but in God's mind, it's still all in divine order. And that's the process that when we're moving into this new dimension, the fifth dimension. That's why it's so important that we concentrate on love and compassion and peace and harmony, because that's where it's at. The
Okay.
new living, the new life. And that's why so many things are going nuts in the world, because there's so much love coming and they're filtrating it down through the atmosphere,
Mm-hmm.
and so much compassion that the folks that are generating all this negative stuff, it's all coming out because they can't deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
So in essence, I would hope that Jewel would take and find a comfortable spot for herself and go within and just search herself and find out why she feels she's stuck.
Yeah.
And then ask her guides, her counsel, to come in and give her the information that she needs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when, and maybe she doesn't feel she's strong enough to do that, but she is. When I will have to go back and listen to the show to know what I channeled, because I don't remember all of it. Pieces, they're feeding me pieces of it. So some of it I can remember, and it's small, but eventually I'll be able to remember it all.
Mm-hmm.
But for right now, I just get pieces of it. So I'm just wondering if there's anything that she could do to go within herself. And that's why I kind of, I don't know if she's a fundamentalist who's trying to reach out into the spiritual realm. And that's where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Is that, and ask her if she's that.
Can I come on camera with you for a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Because, you know, otherwise people think, who's that voice out there?
Oh, yeah. I'll leave.
I do have a message out to Jewel that I'm asking her if she would be interested in coming on live with you, if I can get her on. See, it depends.
Okay.
You know, whether she's using a laptop or a phone or something like that. And you can ask these questions directly to her, because I think it's important, because a lot of people do feel stuck. You know, they do feel like that they want to move forward, but they can't. They almost feel sometimes that they've lost their connection to their guidance. And we both know that doesn't happen.
Right.
For some reason, you know, they have this block or this interference. And I think Jewel is representing a group of people who may be feeling that or thinking that, really. And
well,
how do
in
we
essence,
break that cycle?
That's true.
Yeah.
It is very true that it doesn't matter. We are, it's our responsibility as servants to help each individual. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to go out and save each soul, but you know what I'm saying is that everybody has to react. When you live your life and you go to work, whatever you do, you come in contact with people. And so I'm wondering if by chance, if she has a fundamental background and she's trying to, and one of the things that Spirit has always said to me is, because I have been many faiths.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was Baptist, Lutheran, Episcopalian, Catholic. I think I've been down the Baptist. I think I've been down the road. But anyway, it doesn't matter, because we're all going for the same. We're all trying to seek God. And now, let me just say that when folks they have a hard time because they can't, it's not tangible. They can't grab it, they can't look at it, they can't feel it.
Right.
And so consequently, when they're on that path or if they're stuck, they don't know how they're going to get their body or their mind to go forward. And when you've studied a lot and over the years, I can remember, of course, I can only use myself as an example at this point. When I was a young child, and of course my family realized, okay, we got a kid here that's got something that's not normal. So, but then when I was in my early 20s, I was going crazy because I did not know how to differentiate, because Spirit was just talking to me 24/7, and I thought I was having a breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
So I needed to go and I needed to find someone, which I did, and ended up in the spiritualist church.
Okay.
So, and then I did metaphysics for many years. Mm-hmm. So there's just, I've been all over searching, and that's how come I went to so many different churches, because I was trying to find it, even in the fundamentalist churches. And then I thought, okay, then, and then I was raised Lutheran, and then, it just kept going on. And then in 2003, I became a Catholic. Well, then I kind of just I have never divorced myself from the Catholic knowledge, but the fact is that the Holy Mother and I have a link. And so if they have to, but she's pretty special, and she sometimes gets a little annoyed, I think, with the things that are going on as far as the church. But it's not for me to say. That's her say. But one of the things that I think about, and I'm hoping that people can understand, that it's a process.
Yes.
It's of going to the higher self.
Yes.
No matter what you do. I mean, I walked one road, somebody else could walk and do a different and still arrive. Some people may never go to a different church, but they all may be been in one particular faith their whole life, but they still function and they can still be in the spirit, raise their consciousness in the spirit, and still love their faith.
Yeah.
And still be and honor it.
Right.
There's nobody's out there asking, oh, divorce yourself from that particular thing,
Right.
because that was what brought you on this earth. That's what was given to you, and you had to learn from it. Now, even as an adult, we're looking at things and saying, oh, wow, I guess I need to, I need to change. And sometimes you can't find that change in the religions. Let me just say that.
Right. I think that what you had suggested to Jewel is really the best advice. Really, is that to you want to call it meditation, okay? If you want to call it prayer, that's okay too.
Absolutely.
It's just to be quiet and go within and ask Spirit, your whatever you want to call them, your guides, your spiritual team, whatever that is, your angels, and let them know that you're stuck and that you know that it's a mental loop process that you're in.
I just want to inject something there, Nesha. Is that it is more important that she recognize the I am. The I am, that she is God. And if that's where she's stuck, she needs to focus on that, because that's the key. That's the key that's going to unlock the door for her.
Okay. Can you say that again? Because she's got another question here, but I want to make sure.
I will just say it. She has to know that she is God. She has to know the I am, the concept behind that. And I've been talking about that for almost now 3 years. So it's a process. And that's not easy for folks to understand that, because they always shoot him out there as he's separate from us. He's all out there and not in here. And he's in here. He's in the body. And so he made us. He created us. So I think that process, and these are forgiving. He does not judge. There's no judgmental. And that's the key, is that people have to realize that, when you step into that I am consciousness and you receive and you need, all your needs are met, and you're never alone. You're never alone. I can remember at 5 years ago, I felt I was alone, until somebody just kind of like took a 2x4 and slapped me across the head and said, what do you, you've lived your whole life looking and doing things in the spirit. And for how many years I worked in the spiritualist church and in metaphysics, trying to help people and do things. And then, but now here I am doing something I never ever thought I would ever be doing, and touching humanity to the fullest, and reaching all over. I mean, Brazil, England, wherever. And it's because why? Because they're searching. They want to know how I can get to where I need to be. And in getting there, it's through the I am. That consciousness, that Christness, that when you go to your Christ self, your higher self, that's what it is. And what is her question now? Now that I've done a roll there.
Right, I'm going to take myself off the camera so you and Jewel can connect, okay? So there. And here is her question.
Right, I have a daughter who is struggling, and does the other realm have any guidance for me how I can help her? Okay. When she's saying, I have a daughter who is struggling, and what is the daughter struggling with? See, that's the question. Is that she is struggling? Okay. Now, is she got some problems that she needs some assistance? Other than, I mean, sometimes people need to see a physician. I'm not saying that's always the answer, but sometimes if they're struggling with abuse. I don't know if she is struggling with somebody bullying her. Is the daughter being, and does, well, the others, all right. All right, I'm gonna have to channel this one. I might have to go in. All right. There's a lot of ifs here. If Jewel is stuck and the daughter is struggling, there seems to be a pattern. And I'm seeing that the daughter may be making, there's a pattern here. And I'm seeing that the mother has a pattern, the daughter has a pattern, and the two are either at odds at times, which that's normal, but the processing of bringing them to a point, it's like I can see like two circles and how they come together, like a circle within a circle. So there's a combination of things that the two of them do that are causing, I'm just saying it's just not a good energy for some reason. And I don't understand the whole thing. But I just know that they're showing me that somehow or another, the words, and you heard me say them earlier today and all through this hour, is that love and compassion. Somehow or another, we have to just do, I'm saying massage. We're going to massage this situation and very carefully and move it so that each individual has their own identity. I feel like there's an overlap here in identity. And so with that processing, I think she can, if she can stay over here and be mom, and then daughter can be over here and be daughter, and let daughter make her mistakes, let mother make her mistakes, because neither one of them need to be judgmental of the either one, because of the fact that God is not judgmental. He loves them both. He loves them equally. And it's like I have a power struggle going on there. And so let's just say, for all intents purposes here, that we can say to mother, you continue on your path. Daughter can continue on her path, sending love and light to each other. Don't have to be involved, but can give each other the vibrations that are necessary for each of them to function in this earthly realm. Does that make sense? Okay, so I hope that will help her.
You have another question coming up. Leandra is typing. She asked, "May I ask a question, please?" And so we're waiting for Leandra's question.
Of course, of course.
So as they're typing.
Yes, please do ask the question.
Okay.
I can't hear you. Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I was. Sorry, I had myself on mute. As we're waiting for Leandra to type their question, I was wondering if there's anything else you'd like to share with us about the I am presence and that God or Creator is within us. If there's anything you'd like to add to that.
I think that when you live to serve, and love is the key to all things. It heals. Love heals. It brings us peace and harmony. For it all comes forth in your divine self. Everything is in divine order. Your I am is the flame of life in you. The I am flame of love in you. Your life is my life. His life is your life. And your love is my love. Those are the things of the I am. You have perfect life, perfect love, perfect harmony. There's no desire but my desire, meaning God. It's his desire. It's no love but his love. No life but of our life, of being in him. Our form is his form. We're spirits in physical bodies. And your heart is my heart. And let me be your heartbeat and your life. And let me be your power and your peace. But I would say, let me be your love, 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 because that's what God is. The compassion is the big word. I hear that every place in everything that I'm doing spiritually. The word compassion is just there. And so love and compassion, and that's what you're hearing. And I think that the emotions, if we start talking about emotions, we could go on for another 2-3 hours. And the fact that emotions in itself, but God is your emotions. And if you ask God to keep your emotions in check, he will. Because why? He doesn't want the drama. He doesn't want you to have to live in drama. And he wants your soul to be eternal. Your soul is eternal because you are him. But in order to get there, you've got to have the I am concept. And so, does that answer any of it? Okay. I'm feeling lost with my son, and I moved back to Boston in 2020. Oh, he's such a sweet, sweet little guy. Let me say, is it Leandra? Is that how you pronounce it? Okay, Leandra, I'm just going to get quiet here for a second. Sweet soul, the reason you feel lost, and you have a beautiful son, and you feel lost because you're outside looking for something when you need to be inside looking. How can I say this to you? When you can come within yourself and love yourself to the fullest and really get into that, what will happen when you look in the mirror, use the mirror as an example. I'll use that. And when you look in the mirror and you see yourself, look and say, I am God. I love myself. Now, when you do that, and you do that many times, not just once, then you wait and you do it every time you look in the mirror and you reflect it. And what's going to happen is one day someone will come into your life and see you, the internal you, how beautiful you are and how wonderful you are. And then the outer, if that relationship or whatever is needed, will be part of you. When you spiritually seek and find, you will be so happy and so at peace. When we go out into that physical world looking for things so that we don't feel lost, we never satisfy that loss. We can't. It's not there. You have to go within and know that there's divine, when it's unconditional love, is divine love. And when you ever reach an individual who can give to you unconditional love, then you've got it. Doesn't mean you have to sign on the dotted line. It just means that at this time or the time in your life when that happens, you have to remember this statement that is, it's united in spiritual. Your spirit in a physical body. That person is spirit in a physical body. And the two intertwine and come together spiritually. It is a phenomenal love that will live forever. You will carry that with you to your next life. It's an awesome experience when two individuals, and that's why you feel lost right now. But believe yourself, know that you are worthy of having someone who can love you, for the person inside, and know that they are there for you through everything. And just know that it takes time. And so just remember to look in the mirror. And that's what I'd like to leave with her. Yeah, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. I hope she accepts that well. Okay. Okay, so with that, and because it was such a beautiful reading at the end there, it was just all heartfelt and it's just beautiful. And I just want to reach out to Kathy Crowley again, and I will be with her daughter's passing. I want her to know that I'll be praying with her and hoping that she can, deal with the transition as the best that she can. And with that, I send you all of my blessings and love, and hope that next Thursday, we'll see you next Thursday morning or evening in the 8 o'clock. And then from then on, we go to 8 o'clock every first Thursday of the month. And again, many blessings. And thank you so very much for being here with me today. And God bless you all.